Hey everybody, it's David here. Got a quick video for you on LSI, latent semantic indexing. I sent over a list of keywords for Gavin's new product, the Natural Health Cures. Great ebook. Did a great job with that. Want to help him out. So what I did was I usually outsource all my keyword research. I have been for probably 6 months now. Um, don't like doing it. I just don't have a knack for it. It's not to say I can't do it, but one of the things that really helped me out as far as time savings, and if you always got to remember that when you do any type of business, you got to consider yourself an employee. You're a paid employee. Okay, now usually we're all working for free, right? But as soon as you can get the mindset that you need to be paid for your time, now that doesn't mean you can be paid. You just need to start documenting how much time you're investing in it. Go ahead and put a dollar amount. Now let's just say it's minimum. Let's say it's $10 an hour, right? When you're doing keyword research, that's time spent. Okay, how valuable is that to you? When I was doing keyword research to get 100 good keywords, it would take me 6 to 8 hours to come up with the right kind of keywords, do all the research on it, do all the in title, in anchor, make sure this was something I could rank for. And then I had to list all these keywords out. And then when I got into doing LSI words, latent semantic indexing words, which we'll get to in just a second, this became quite a chore. And I was 80 $100 into this before I even wrote an article. So what I told myself is, look, the minute you can afford to do this, this is something you're going to outsource. Okay, if I can have somebody else that has a natural talent for this, has their own formulas, uses all the keyword software, and comes up with great words, and they're proven to work, and can get that list to me in a couple of days when I could be doing other things, then that's exactly what I did. Okay, now problem was that I just contracted this out for a period of time. I just sent a bunch of niches, and I now have a bunch of niches with all these great keywords, and I don't have time really to do all of them anymore. I got off track there. Basically, what I did was I called her back. I said, look, switch one of those to Gavin's program. I need some natural pet uh, cure words, and that's how you got that list. All right. It's ranked E1 to E4. They're all easy. E stands for easy. All right. The E4 sections are going to be a little bit harder to rank for than the E1s, of course, and you might have to do a little bit of backlinking and add some LSI words. So that's why I had her shoot me over the LSI list words. Okay, and then the problem is I got a few emails. What are we supposed to do with this list? How does it work? What is LSI? Okay, now I've gone over LSI a few times. I've got a blog post about it. It's in the course, but let's explain it a little bit more, real quick. Okay, LSI words are not actually synonyms for your keyword. They're actually words that show up on all the top websites throughout the entire Google network. And I'm just going to use Google for example. They index every page, and let's just pick dog heartworms. Okay, so here's our top 10 results for dog heartworms. Now, what if you were able to take a program, or you were able to go through each one of these, you would see that there's some common terms besides dog heartworm that are on each of these pages. Okay, now that's what Google then builds their index around. When you do an article, they say, okay, well, there's dog heartworm. Where are we going to rank this? Are we going to rank it on this same page with all these others? Well, let's see. It doesn't include the word disease. Probably most of these other pages do. Maybe it doesn't include the word canine. This one does. Maybe it doesn't say United States. Maybe it doesn't mention roundworm or metatoad that belongs to the family of, let's see, Diruffa imidis, whatever, right? What about mosquitoes? Do you mention mosquitoes in your articles? Okay, so basically, I mean, look at this: bloodstream, microfilariae, the vein of the heart, all these kind of things that makes this. If you're somebody, this is what you always got to remember: if you're searching, do you want an article return that just is stuffed with heartworm, dog heartworm, right? And then it's just a pitch, and you just stuff it in there 3 to 5%. No, this is what you want. You want to read this. You want to see what it's about. You want to see how it's caused. You want to see how the disease gets to the dogs, how it moves throughout the country, right? And you want to know how to fix it. So Google wants to return these types of pages. So what if you had a list of all the words on here? Well, you do, okay? Because what my gal does is she takes all these sites, and I'm sure she has a program that she uses, but still, there's the human behind all that stuff that will then find all these words that are common with one another. So let's say mosquito. Let's say the type of family that the parasite belongs to, the worm, right? Canine, veterinarian, maybe America. And let's go to our list. Okay, so here's our list. Let's see, canine heartworms, canine heartworm treatment. All right, let's see. There's disease. Let's see if mosquitoes on there. Let's just go to some of those ones we know. Okay, mosquitoes, infection, um, parasites, pulmonary. That had mentioned the heart. Okay, here were some long, the two words: heartworm prevention, heartworm dogs kill, life cycle. Treatment options might have been on there. Let's go long. Canine heartworm disease. Let's see if they've got. Da, 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 da. Just trying to find it. I probably should have done this research before I did this little thing. There it is, microfiliaria, whatever that was, right? Um, so you see what we've got for you here, and look at this list. I mean, here's arthritis. Here's the mention of the, if you were to actually write an article around your keyword that I give you, and then include some of these LSI words, then when Google goes to index you, they're going to say, okay, well, this is a relevant article, right? Um, and that's going to put you up there with those other competing websites. If you don't mention mosquito and all the other top sites that already index do, you're not going to get up there. You're not going to get ranked. If you don't include several of these different types of things. The pulmonary, you might want to mention that. You might want to mention canine. You might want to mention veterinarian. Okay, all of those words. That's how LSI works. Okay. Now, there's one thing I want to show you real quick. Let me go back here to show options. My computer's a little slow. Okay, and we can go down here to the Wonder Wheel. Okay, that's Google Wonder Wheel. Now, this isn't the same exactly as LSI. This is actually giving us other keywords that can be associated with this, but it's a great way to kind of get it. Canine Heartworm Society, you might want to mention that. Dog heartworm symptoms, we could click on that and narrow that down. Here's some symptoms, side effects. Okay, there's a nice phrase we could have in our thing, in our mosquito season. Let's see, let's break this down. That could possibly give us canine heartworm, pulmonary embolisms, coughing up blood. Okay, that could be a symptom. You see how we can do this? Now, this would take a lot of work if you had to do it yourself, right? So that's why I sent that list over to you. This is the research that was done. So you can pick one of those keywords about dog heartworm, whatever, and then pick out a few of those those LSI words, and start writing your articles. Now, this is going to help you give you ideas for your articles too. If you figure, okay, well, I need to use the word mosquito, I need to use the actual Latin word for what this worm is, and I want to put canine in it as well, right? So that will help you structure your articles. Now, that's how you use the list. That's what LSI is, and I just want to do this real quick because my software is all messed up. I can't make the video longer than 10 minutes. I'm going to throw this up on YouTube. So sorry to talk real fast, and just wanted to throw that out there real quick for you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Make sure you use that list. It's really awesome. Okay? Thank you. Talk to you guys later. Bye.